Morning world, it's Sunday the 10th of January 2021. I haven't done a video in the last couple of days. Reason for that, because Mercury's been squaring Mars, conjunct Saturn, and I just thought, you know what, I've given enough warnings about the last few days, and I've also received enough flack from people. Now I've got thick skin. So anyway, as I speak, Jupiter is at 4 degrees of Aquarius. Saturn is at 2 degrees of Aquarius. Mercury is at 3 degrees of Aquarius. And Mars is at 1 degree of Taurus. So Mercury was conjunct Saturn and square Mars yesterday. Mercury will be conjunct Jupiter tomorrow. Mars will square Saturn tomorrow. So it seems to me that over this last week and a half, astrologically speaking, we've had a large number of aspects going on in the sky that have all steadily and with a degree of acceleration escalated to the point where we are now and over the next 36 hours. There are going to be further developments in the next 36 hours. And then there's a kind of 24-hour still point before the new moon. The new moon conjunct Pluto. Pretty strong. At 5 a.m. UK time on Wednesday morning. Now, after this, it all calms down. Well, it doesn't calm down. It stops being so extreme and intense at the day-by-day level. The rhetoric in the outside world, whether it be about COVID or Trump or the Indian farmers, won't die down, but it will slow down. It will stop escalating for at least a few days. Now, later on, in about a week after, about 8 or 9 days from now, Mars will conjunct Uranus at the same time as Jupiter is squaring Uranus. So we'll have Mars conjunct Uranus squared Jupiter for a week around the 20th. So it's not going to disappear. It's just, you know, the ongoing larger than life over the top situations are going to continue. And I will have to do a specific reading for the American inauguration of President-elect Biden. Now, I haven't done a video since immediately after the days of the Capitol invasion in America. And now we've all had a chance to breathe. I'm not so interested in looking at the astrology of the event because it was obvious that something was going to happen. And despite a number of people asking me, neither am I interested in doing current readings on the future of Donald Trump, although I will look at the horoscopes of Joe Biden and Kamala Harris once they've been permanently installed in office. What I'm fascinated by is the diversity of opinion. There are a large number of people out there who believe, for whatever reasons, that Donald Trump legitimately won the election. I saw a wonderful interview with what looked like a really nice guy, a Republican mayor, who swore blind that Donald Trump won the election. He felt it in his heart. He'd looked at all the evidence and he couldn't prove it. He couldn't prove that there was fraud. He said he felt there was, but he couldn't prove it. Now, he seemed a really mild-mannered, gentle guy, and he seemed like the face of modern-day republicanism in America, where he says, we just got to do better next time. Now that it's been basically proven to a point of acceptance that the invaders of the Capitol were Trump supporters and not this so-called Antifa, anti-fascist, And if they're anti-fascist, does that make the people who invaded the capital fascist? Because they've been named as individuals very strong in QAnon, Proud Boys and Trump supporters. So what is it that makes some people still absolutely adamant that Biden won the election and others absolutely convinced that Trump won the election with no middle ground? Why is there no compromise? Why is there no meeting of minds in a halfway position, which is what's happened in every similar situation in the past, not just in America but worldwide? What is it that makes people live in two parallel, very different worlds? So I've been pondering this for a few days. And, normally in a situation like this, I'd be thinking, well, where's Neptune? Because there's a sense of illusion. But Neptune's kind of quiet at the moment, although the new moon in around the second week of March is going to be very Neptunian. And I suspect that will see not the end of COVID as we know it, but we'll be through it by then. So I'm not thinking that Neptune's at cause here, because normally I'd be looking for Neptune for delusion, illusion, gullibility, escapism. And Neptune's not a major role player at this time. So then I've been thinking, well, wait a minute, it's way out of proportion, all this that's going on in the world. It's over the top. So where's Jupiter? And of course, Jupiter's being affected. Now, Jupiter and Saturn and Mercury are all together now at the start of Aquarius. Aquarius is about hopes and wishes and desires for a better world. It's about community. So it seems that what's going on is a struggle for community, a struggle for the voice of community, to be the voice of community, to speak for the global community. I find it temporarily strange that someone who isn't trusted to go on Twitter still has control of the biggest nuclear arsenal in the world. That's a bit scary. But it does seem as if there's something going on that's causing such a dichotomy worldwide, but especially in America. And it leads me to question the different worlds we all seem to be living in. How is it possible for such difference of opinion to be so radical when we all live on the same planet, in the same dimension, in the same world? How can so many people's opinions be so radically different? I mean, we all have our own world, and it's one planet, 7 billion different worlds. We've all got our own way of seeing things, and we're all responsible for our own perception. But when I see what's going on, I just keep thinking, okay, it's all right, calm down. I knew this was coming. Something like this was bound to happen with the way the planets in the sky are, and it's not over yet, but it will be over. And I remind myself what I've said all along, that by the time we're into the end of January, the worst of the year is over. And it's not just the stuff in America. It's COVID, it's the Indian farmers, it's all the stuff going on all around the world, and all the strangeness that's going on. Here am I living in the relative northern hemisphere. Well, it's not warm by a long way, but it's about zero where I am. 500 miles south of me in the temperate zone, Spain's living in -12, and I'm thinking, whoa, what's going on there? There's a strangeness around. And everyone's been rattled. Everyone's been rattled by the virus, by staying at home, by what's going on in the world. But out of this is coming a sense of, well, we're surviving, we're thriving almost. And there's coming out, something's going to come out of all this that's going to be brilliant, because what don't kill you makes you stronger. And where we are now is saying that from now on, we're going to become more and more self-reliant for our own opinions, our own perceptions, but we're also going to be talking to others about it and sharing our feelings and opinions finding some type of consensus. And I suggest that the more we get into February and March and April, consensus is going to be much more of an important word. I really hope so. Catch you later, world. Bye.